Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Justin Dehm Show. This is Scott Kerker, along with Metamore head coach Justin Dehm. Coach, very good weekend last week. Very competitive games for you last week. You started off the week with a really tough game. You went into I would say probably the first test of that kind, where you went into someone else's place with a full house. You went in and played a very good East Peoria team at their house, and it was packed. It was a great high school atmosphere.
Yeah, it was. We had the unified game beforehand. There was a lot of people there. It was, I think, the last 2 years we played at East Peoria, it's been almost a sellout crowd, standing room only. Two of the best environments we've ever had over at East Peoria the last few years. So it's always good to play in something like that. It kind of prepares us for like postseason type game, regional game.
And, with a young team like this, and we don't want to harp on it being a young team, but you went over there, and I thought their experience was the difference, in my opinion. I thought that, they came out with a lot of enthusiasm. They came out and played. I mean, you watch them on TV, or watch them at YouTube and whatever channels. They didn't seem to play that kind of defense any other game, but that game they came out and played some defense.
Yeah, and they were coming off 2 losses, so we knew that they were going to play better. They obviously think that they're a better team than they showed the first 2 games here in January, so they gave us their best shot. They gave us their best game, like a lot of teams do when they see Metamora coming into their gym, and they know that they got to play really well, or it could be a long night.
Yeah, and it does seem like everybody plays their best game of the year against us, and I'm not sure why that is. I guess that's a compliment to the program.
Yeah, it's because we won the most games in the state of Illinois the last few years. So
for sure.
Everybody we play is aware of that, and they see the banners on the wall when they come here, and obviously they've been paying attention at all the last couple of years.
Yep.
They know they got to be ready.
And I'm sure the East Peoria coach knows that. He coached at Morton, so
Yep.
he's been in the Middle Illini for some time now. So
sure has.
I thought too that one of the things that I thought was a great learning experience. There was a point there where another team, somebody that maybe didn't play with as much pride, it may have been kind of a blow. You brought it back, I thought, and made it a very respectable game, and that shows the pride that your kids have. It also kind of showed that, okay, we'll give you this one. You still got to come to our place.
Yep, I think we had like just a bad 3 or 4 minute stretch there in the third quarter. It was still close the first half of the third, and we had just a couple turnovers in a row, turnover, layup, 3. Just had a bad stretch there, and that's when the game kind of got away from us there. But we kept playing in the fourth quarter. I don't know what it was, 14 or 15 at the finish, the final score, but it felt like it was closer than that most of the game, except for that one stretch. And, you take away that 4 minutes, we probably played them to, I don't know, a 6-point game.
Probably so. Yeah, I thought most of the fourth quarter you played them pretty even, it's still the maturity, the maturation of your team, and whether they're sophomores, juniors, or even seniors, that takes a little while. And these kids haven't had a chance to play. They've played, a little more than half the season, but that still takes some time, and you can still see them getting better and better each and every game. And there's different challenges every game, and that shows a lot that you meet those challenges head on, and I thought this weekend was a prime example, because, and we'll talk about this too, is you played a really big conference game on Friday night, and you turned around and you played a pretty good team on the road, an hour and a half away, down in St. Joe's, against a really good Muhammad Seymour team. And when you scheduled it, I'm thinking to myself, Justin knew what he was doing, because you're going to have to do that sometime if you go far enough in the postseason, you're going to have to do that, and you've prepared them. If they ever get that far, none of this will be foreign to them. They've already done this, and they won the game on Saturday. They won, I think it was we won by 4.
Yeah, 65, 61 maybe.
Yeah, something. I was guessing. Yeah, something. It was in that range, but I thought that game was won on guts, from the start, from the finish, because your kids they had no legs.
Mm-hmm.
They were spent. They had given it all the night before, and they came out and played a really good Mohammed Seymour team. I think they were 9-4.
I think so. Yeah, 9-4, 9-5. They had a very good record coming in.
And I think Brady Jones just got tired of watching guys that could shoot that fadeaway jump shot. I mean, it's 2 games in a row for sure, and he's had some other guys that just the fadeaway. He's right in their face, and they fade away, and they hit those jump shots, and so he just kind of decided to take over. And, what did he end up with? 23, I think.
23, I think, new career high.
Yeah, played an outstanding game. You had some other guys, and we'll talk to a couple of them here in a little bit. But I thought your kids had. It was almost like they willed themselves to win.
Yep, sure did. I think we had a little adversity there. The other team, Muhammad, they played the night before too, so it wasn't like we were at a disadvantage there. But we had a long drive; they did not. It's pretty close. St. Joseph is very close to Champaign and Muhammad, so they didn't have quite as long of a drive. We met up here at 8 a.m. on Saturday after a tough loss on the road, and left at 9. Had an hour and a half drive, so we had a little bit more going against us there, and our best perimeter defender, Logan, gets 2 fouls in the first quarter, and he was guarding a very good player of the other team. We knew we were going to have to play another team back-to-back with 2 really good offensive players that Logan and Brady were going to have to do a really good job defensively for us to have a chance, and it was tough to lose Logan in that first quarter. Zach stepped up and had a really good defensive game. Colin Morrison gave us some big minutes guarding that kid too. And so we did a good job. Like you said, every game is like a new problem. Like it's a different matchup.
Yes.
They play a different style. Some teams play slow. Some teams play fast. Some teams better 3-point shooting teams. Some teams got better post players. And so some teams play more zone. Some teams like to switch it up a lot. Some teams switch screens. Some teams don't switch. So it's kind of the experience factor that we've gotten throughout the season is playing a lot of different styles, playing a lot of zones in the Jack Tosh. A lot of teams that we're playing lately, we're finding they're trying to switch everything because our offense is pretty tough to guard if you don't switch, and so you got to give up those mismatches. And Brady's starting to figure out how to slip screens when they switch, or how to screen the smallest guy, get him to switch, post up the little guys. And our guys are starting to figure that out, what we're looking for against different styles and different offenses and different defenses, and how to solve all those different problems when they're out on the court.
I thought one of the things too, I noticed, and it might be because Randy Begol, the guy that does the games, he mentioned it. I thought you guys Saturday, and correct me because Saturday's the day I really noticed it, is, man, the minutes Brady had a mismatch underneath, your kids found him. I mean, how many times? It was fantastic how many times your kids found him. They got him a really nice pass.
Yep.
Where some of them, the pass took him right to the basket. And I thought that was fantastic. And, he was the beneficiary of some great recognition on some of your other players. And that was great to see. Because, he's really not so much of an inside player. He's kind of a slasher and likes to hit some shots out in the perimeter. But Saturday, he just took whatever they were giving him, and he had a fantastic game. And Logan, we talked about him being kind of your warrior, and I think that's the first time in a long time, maybe the first time this whole year, where he only played, a fraction of the second quarter. Most of the time, he's getting like 2 minutes. He's playing 30 minutes of the 32.
Right. Yeah, I think that might be the first time he got in like real foul trouble early in the game. He might have had a game where he got 3 in the third quarter or something like that. That's not quite as big a foul trouble, really, but 2 right off the bat is kind of tough when you are having to guard the other team's leading scorer, and he's just going to keep going at you. Sometimes you just got to take guys out before they get third and fourth, but we don't always take guys out for their second. But when you're guarding a really good player like that, some things got to change sometimes.
And the other thing too is, and I thought for the most part the officiating was pretty solid because it was called both ways, but it's got to be really tough because the night before you played, it was war. That was a battle. We made the comment during the game that maybe we shouldn't have. We said that East Peoria hit us harder in the basketball games than they did in the football game.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's got to be tough for your kids to make that adjustment. You say you got to adjust the officiating. That's true. But when it's that big of a contrast,
Yeah.
that's, I mean, I remember when I played, and that was ancient time ago. That is really tough because, you don't know. You want to be aggressive, but you also don't want to be overly aggressive.
Right.
That's got to be
Right, especially today when you get 5 fouls and they're shooting 2 free throws now, so it's kind of a big difference in the game these days. You don't get to go 7 and then 1 and 1, which is obviously really tough.
Yeah.
You miss the first one, you don't get a second one.
Right.
But now you get guaranteed 2 shots after 5 fouls. It does change every quarter, but sometimes you get a quarter where you get a couple fouls and then all of a sudden they're shooting the last 3 minutes. But like you said, it was a big adjustment. We had the JV game. Part of the reason we scheduled that shootout is we get a JV game out of it too. And it's a 2-hour difference, so we can watch the whole JV game, and those JV guys get a little bit of a break before the varsity game. It was kind of nice to be able to get Ashton and Cam a little bit of time before, normally they're trying to rush from the JV game to getting warm-ups for varsity. But they called 4 illegal screens in the JV game, and we were begging for them all night the night before. And they're counting 5 seconds like the rule book says, which they unfortunately don't do around here in Peoria anymore. So it was nice to get out to Champaign and get a different crew and see guys, call the game the way it's written in the rule book, right?
right. Yeah, and that's another guy that I thought had a good game on Saturday was Cam Beekman.
A really good day. Yeah.
He walled up really nice. I think he maybe only had 2 buckets.
Had 1 point, one free throw.
One free throw,
Yep.
okay. But the other things he did, he rebounded well. He played good defense,
Really
and
good defense.
he was a rim protector too.
Yep. I think he swatted 1 shot off the wall on the baseline one time, and sometimes it's not just about the blocks. It's just getting there, getting your hands up, and guys drive in there. I don't think I want to shoot it on that guy, and they pull it back out. So he just deters guys from taking shots at the rim sometimes.
It's kind of what you may be seeing down the road.
Yeah.
And for sure, anyway. I think everybody you've put in the last few weeks have played really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
And when you watch this team and you see them getting a little bit better, there is no quit. There are times when things are tough.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've done a really good job of maturing and okay, we didn't play real well. Okay, big deal. And then they just move on, and they kind of get over those things. Sometimes it's that 4 or 5 minute stretches that kind of beat them, but it doesn't. They lose the battle, but they don't lose the war.
Yep.
And that's got to be kind of nice as a coach to see that maturity coming each and every week.
Yeah, definitely. We talk about basketball as a game of runs. One team goes on a run, you can't get too high. If you can't get too low if they go on a run. You can't get too high when you go on a run. You can't get worried about watching the scoreboard too much. It's not a long game, but it is a long game, right? There's going to be plenty. You can't start looking up in the first quarter when you're down 10 or first half when you're down double digits, which we've been in before. You can't start to hang your head. You just got to keep playing. Every possession's a new possession. You got to play it the same way. Play like the game's on the line every time down.
And you've proven that 10 point deficit is not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Especially when you did last year against Kankakee in the first round of the sectional. So
Yeah. No, we were down, I think, 12 with 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes to go there. Yeah, that
came
was
back and tied it.
that was real desperation.
And then went into overtime and got the big win. That was a ginormous win. So I think there's some confidence, and the kids, I'm sure, know that. They've been around. They all know that. But you got some big games coming up. You got Dunlap on Friday night, home game. Seems like it's only been a week, but it just seems like a long time since we've played many home games. And then you turn around on Monday and you travel over to Moline again and play Moline.
Yep.
And Moline's had some success.
Yeah.
Dunlap, they play pretty scrappy too.
Yeah, definitely. Dunlap, they're a small team, but they're a ton of guards. They're actually a lot like us, a lot of young guys, a lot of sophomores and juniors. I think they might have 1 or 2 seniors that play a few minutes here and there, but they're all young and they're all looking to make an impact. They play 10, 11 guys. They're constantly throwing new bodies in, trying to stay fresh, and they get up. They like to reach and try to steal the ball from you. They're small. They can't really guard in the rim. They struggle to defend. Bigger guys, they struggle to rebound, and so that's got to be a big key for us going into that game to protect the home court and keep the streak going. Is be good inside, be good around the basket, find those mismatches, get offensive rebounds when we miss, and finish around the rim.
And they're not a pushover. I believe they beat Rock Island.
Yeah, they did just last week.
Yeah, a pretty good Rock Island team.
Yeah.
So you got to come in and play a good ball game, and we got to get number 51.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
Got to keep the streak going as long as we can.
And then you go over to a really nice place over in Moline. Is it
Wharton Fieldhouse.
Wharton Fieldhouse.
Yep. Really nice facility over there. It's been 10 years since we played over there. My brother's senior year, Nate Cannell and Dallas Morgan and all those guys
Yes.
came out of there with the win.
Big win.
Great place to play. Great
Yes.
place to watch basketball.
Yes, it's a throwback.
Yeah.
Reminds me of a bigger Alice Ingersoll a little bit. And that's going to be it's going to be a neat atmosphere. How is Moline this year?
They're a young team again, like us. They got one kid who's a junior, who's a 3-year starter. Is a really good player. He's been around for a while for them. So it'll be a good challenge for Logan to guard that kid. And then I haven't really watched a ton. I just seen him in the summer and just know him just from following basketball around here and knowing some of their coaches. We share films a lot with Moline, and we kind of developed some rapport with their staff through the years when we were going to state tournaments, same year as them. We stayed in the same hotel. We share scouting reports back and forth. I talked to the Moline coaches before the United Township game after we watched them beat them on Friday, and got a bunch of their play calls and some of the stuff that they like to do. So big fan of the Moline program. Their head coach has been around for a long time, won a state championship at Shelbyville, Class A basketball back in the day, and then again at Moline here. Sean Taylor, got a lot of respect for him as a coach. It's already in the Hall of Fame and has been around the block. So they're definitely going to be a challenging style of play. It's going to be another road game where we got a long drive and got to play somebody on their place.
Well, Coach, it's been a fun ride so far, hasn't it?
It has, yeah.
Bring home a couple W's. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll bring in a couple of your players.
All right, sounds good.
Welcome back to the Justin Dehm Show. I'm here with a couple of Metamore players. I got Briggs Busey and Logan Vasquez on my far left. All right, you guys, it's about a little more than halfway through the season. So far, what's been the one thing that has surprised you guys the most?
I would say just how, I guess we're working good as a team, and we got younger guys used to. I mean, I played with him my whole life, but playing with Sam and Brady and all them, it's different. And I'm glad we work together well and play good all around and stuff. So.
Yeah, maybe not be for us surprising, but a lot of teams thought it was gonna be a really low year for us. We're gonna be that good, and I feel like we've been playing pretty decent. We've grew a lot as a team because last year we had the same team as JV, but we weren't all so connected. But this year we've been a lot more connected as a team, trying to do stuff with the team.
So you come into this, you're still in the hunt for the Middle Illini crown. You've got a big win over Morton in triple overtime. What was that game like for you guys?
It was awesome. I mean, we haven't beat them at the Dome in a while, so it was a good win. And, I mean, we don't like Morton, so it's always fun to beat them.
Yeah, it was just a really big battle, and we knew going into that game they had way more experience than us. They had 6 seniors I think that played for them, but it was a crazy fun game, big battle, honestly.
You get that win, and I thought some of the other big wins you guys got was when you went up to the Jack Tosh and you played some teams from the inner city, not inner city, but from the city of Chicago and the suburbs, and they were all mostly senior dominated for the most part. How has that helped you coming back, the second half of the season?
I think it's awesome that we have guys that are young. I mean, we don't have any senior. Well, we have one, Chiago, but I mean, it shows that also next year will be really good. I mean, we'll have the same guys and everything, and I mean, we show we don't need older guys to win us games. We also got guys who can score the ball and do everything. So.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with Briggs on that. It's gonna be nice next year that all the teams are basing a lot. A lot of teams around here have pretty, other than Dunlap, are pretty senior heavy, Washington and a few other teams.
Morton is a senior.
Yeah, Morton's senior heavy, but next year we're coming back with the same exact team other than Chiago. We're same guys and everything. All gonna be right back.
That's a shame, isn't it? The other thing too, when I watch you guys play. And Coach Dehm, we mentioned it here a little bit ago, it seems like every game somebody gives you something different, something different that is kind of it's something that you have to work through. And you guys have done a really good job, I think, of being able to, whatever those things are, working through them. And they've come out with giving defenses. They've put different things and tried to kind of confuse you guys a little bit. But I think you guys have done a really nice job of recognizing those things, those challenges, and kind of worked your way through them. Logan, when you're the point guard, you have to come down. You got to get the offense kind of set. What so far has anybody so far tried to do anything that has been a little bit like, oh wait, we didn't expect that, but you've been able to work through it?
I mean, nothing like this season so far has been like a crazy big surprise. I mean, we do a lot of scouting. We're pretty good at that.
Yeah.
So usually I know everything that's coming towards the game. So I mean, they throw some random, like they'll have maybe a trap defense right when I walk across half. But other than that, there's nothing really too out of pocket I didn't know that was coming.
Probably pretty nice. You said you've played with Logan most of your life.
Yeah.
Coming across the timeline, and it seems like every time we need a big bucket, he's throwing the ball to you. You're hitting a big three or making a big drive down the middle. The big drive against Peoria Central.
Mm-hmm.
Was that how it was drawn up?
I mean, we were trying to get it inside, but I mean, no one else was open, so I went and got it, and I don't know what else to say about it. I mean,
There was nobody there. He just drove down the lane and
Yeah.
laid it up and in, and that was another big win for you
Mhm.
guys against another quality opponent. So far, what has been your biggest win so far?
definitely that in the Morton game. I mean, it's because like Peoria High took us out last year, and then Morton. I mean, they always find a way to beat us. So beating both of them, just like first game, is big, I guess. So they have to come here now, or Morton does, and I don't know if they can defend all of our shooting here and stuff. We play really good at home, so.
And you still have Washington coming back here.
Yep.
You have Canton coming back here. You have East Peoria coming back here. Those are three teams that you kind of can get some revenge on. Morton you don't, but you always want to act
Oh,
like
yeah.
there's
Yeah.
some revenge there. Well, congratulate you guys so far on a great season. We'll let you guys get going here, but good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That'll do it for the Justin Dehm Show. We'll see you guys next Wednesday.